do you still believe the Warriors are coming out of the West?
Here's how I will answer this question. I'm getting very nervous. I'm getting very nervous.
The pause has started.
But it's not because of the losses. I'm getting nervous because where the hell is Draymond Green? That's what I'm getting nervous about.
Okay.
Now, I saw him NBA All-Star Weekend. We spoke for a little bit. Feeling good, coming along, et cetera, et cetera. I expect him back soon, but I don't see him yet. They ain't win no title without Draymond Green. They need him. And first of all, when he's on the court with the rest of this crew, they're one of the top two defenses in all of basketball. When he's on the court with them, offensively, they're far more efficient because he's the ultimate playmaker for Clay and Steph. And so when I look at it from that perspective, if Steph and Clay are flowing, primarily because of Draymond, it frees up Jordan Poole and Toscano Anderson and Gary Payton II. The list goes on and on. It's a ripple effect. And when he's not there, you can't do any of that. When I watched what the Dallas Mavericks, Jason Kidd, and the exceptional job he's doing coaching the team this year, did y'all see what he did to Steph Curry the other night when Steph Curry did not attempt a shot in the fourth quarter?
Correct.
Do you know why that happened, Molly Q? Jason Kidd blitzed him from the moment he touched half court. And they said, get the ball out of his hands, come hella high water. And they did anybody else to beat them, okay? You can't do that when Draymond's on the court. Can't do that. And so it changes everything. I'm worried because the fact that we've seen Draymond Green out this long, he is such a warrior, and I say that no pun intended. I mean, it's literal and figurative because he's a member of the Warrior, but he is a warrior, okay? Draymond ain't sitting out games like this while this team is going this way when he sees Utah rising, Dallas rising, Memphis rising, even though they lost to Boston last night. And, of course, the Suns there to expose because CP3 is out. If Draymond is out, still, that is starting to make me nervous. That's where I'm at with it, Janae.
Yeah, I think Draymond has been the most integral warrior to their offense and also to their defense. And that's what I've said the last 4 or 5 years. The Warriors have been the best at small ball, especially defensively. I mean, you've stood next to Draymond. You're close to his height. You're like 6'1", 6'2". Yeah.
Well, I can assure you that's not true. When I stood next to him, I came up to
smaller?
like here. I came up to like here.
But he's like 6'5", 6'6". And what he's been able to do.
More like 6'7".
Okay, well, maybe I'm wearing my heels on that day.
That
okay?
would, I mean, you make everybody look short, but go ahead.
That's why I should post you up so we can show people, okay, in my heels. I've got 4 inches today.
I'd lose that too.
Yeah, so Draymond, you know, say he's 6'7", what he's been able to do offensively as a playmaker, you're absolutely correct. When they force the ball out of Steph Curry's hands, he knows how to find the next guy, and that next guy has the best shot.
Okay.
I wish there was a stat for that, right? Bam, bam. Yeah. But what really worries me is even though he's been out, I would expect them not to be 2-7, to find a way to not allow, their opponents to go off for like career nights, or, just have the highest average versus them versus the rest of the league.
Okay.
That to me is what's surprising because that's uncharacteristic even with Draymond Green being out. You still have to play team defense, and it's been difficult for them. I think when we look at the West overall, you look at a team like the Warriors without Draymond Green and playing, the prior 2 games without Klay Thompson. All right, there's a question mark. There are question marks when it comes to the Phoenix Suns, but still, they're, I think, 1-1, without Chris Paul and now Devin Booker in protocols. They're still consistent. They have an identity even when those stars are out, meaning over the course of the season, they've been top 3 in both offensive and defensive rating. So they have that, and you have to give credit. You gave credit to Ty Lue. You got to give credit to Monty Williams for what he's built and developed DeAndre Ayton to compete at a higher level. Cam Johnson having great games. To me, it's the Suns that have been consistent. They have an identity, and they remain the favorites in the West, not necessarily the Warriors. I know the Warriors were beautiful and sexy and perfect, shooting stars to start the season, but as we've seen them progress, there have been, holes here, Steph shooting slump, Draymond Green being out. Like, that's why I can't keep them at #1 in the West. And you already know the Grizz are coming. They're looking for any reason to sort of win and right the wrongs of what they experienced last year. But still, the consistency, this is a team that's 1 year removed from being in the finals. I still have the Suns.
I got to tell you something. Utah's coming. Dallas is coming. The Clippers are coming. Let's keep in mind, Kawhi may not be back, but Paul George will. And no, we're not picking the Clippers to win the championship. But could they knock somebody off? Hell yes. Hell yes.
Yeah.
They could pull this off. They've got experience. They've got scoring. They've got athletes. They've mixed in a few youthful players in the mix as well. And Jen, you talk about PG coming back because the brother can ball now. And so I look at it from that perspective and I say, okay, I get where you're coming from. But I'm still not going to lose faith in the Warriors because I believe that when Draymond comes back, he makes that big of a difference. I still think they need the additional body that is Wiseman to help them. Those 6 fouls, a big body on the front court, that kind of thing. But really the key is Draymond Green. And if they were losing close to anything like this with Draymond on the court, I tell you it's over. I tell you it's over. But we both know that would not have happened. They wouldn't be 2-7 in their last 9 games if Draymond was on the court with the rest of these brothers. We know that to be the case. And it's because you're a catalyst. That would be one thing if you're a guy that's just scoring 30. Okay, now that the 30 is gone, we got to find a way to make up for that. No. He's a catalyst on both ends of the floor. Offensively, he's your point forward. Defensively, he's your point guard, basically, as a defender, because he's
talking and orchestrating.
He's orchestrating everything. And we cannot minimize the importance of that. And he holds dudes accountable. Those young players, they sit up there and they gravitate to what this man says. He matters.
But to your point on the Clippers, I think, yeah, they can make some noise, but next season, we're going to be talking about them being favorites for the championship.
Yes, I agree. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.